Good morning, everybody. Hi, this is Julie, September 23rd. It's currently 5:44 a.m. About half an hour ago, Reuters broke some news that there's some collusion between Saudi Arabia and Iran to, one, cut production on Saudi Arabia's part if Iran agrees to freeze their output at current levels, currently at 3.6 million barrels per day. So this seems like a nice, again, a collusion agreement between the two parties to get the price of oil to increase. So Saudi Arabia is in a world of hurt by slam dunking the price of crude down. They're trying to get it back up. I feel so sorry for Venezuela, who is probably now the world's largest oil producer, and they just don't know it yet. Once they figure that out, we're going to have a whole new ball game. But for right now, we've got crude retracing off of its low. We might even get a key reversal day. We broke through yesterday's low, and now we're breaking through yesterday's high. So once this breaks through, we're going to have a key reversal, and that's going to be looking bullish for crude. So we're not done making some movements in and out of this market, and the open has not happened. And we've got the yesterday close sitting right above the VWAP. So I would be kind of curious to see if price is going to bounce off of the first standard deviation VWAP level at the River of Gold from yesterday's session and bounce up, or if it's going to continue down, tag the yesterday close, and then go up. But a little bit of this news is overdone. We've heard it all before. So we'll just have to wait and see how the market responds to this. If we do manage to get a crude rally off of this for Friday, I'm all for it. I think that we need to get crude up as much as possible. Here is the weekly, and we're sort of in a holding pattern, and we came down to touch my favorite volatility band. So we're ranging between 55 and, let's call it 43. So, or 40, 41, something like that. Here's our range box right here. I'll tell you where it is. Right there. That's the range box. So we're inside the range box. We need to break up to we're down at the bottom of it. We got this news. So that probably is going to be the low of the range box as it makes its way back up. And hopefully it's just going to keep going. On the daily, we've got a fantastic wedge happening. So if we get stuck going into next week's meeting, it's going to coil. If it hits up to this trend line at 47, it's likely to bounce back down and coil up inside until it can bust out one way or the other. If those talks in Iran, if they do the same thing with Saudi Arabia and Iran, break down, and they get past the meeting and they say, oh, never mind, we're going to keep everything status quo, this is probably going to tank. So they've got themselves in a bit of a squeeze. Yes, Iran's back on the market, but they certainly don't want price plummeting. So they're probably going to join that little game of, yes, we'll freeze, and then, or, you know, of course they don't have to do it. They just say that they'll do it, and then they don't do it. So I think we've all kind of caught on to this, but we'll see what happens. As far as the E-mini, that market is moving, and it's hit the lows, so it's a good place to catch a move back up in this market. Let me turn the chart over real quick, and we'll look at the E-mini. And maybe on a Friday, we'll have two markets to trade, the E-mini and the crude. So I could see the E-mini bouncing off of this 50% level, yesterday 50, and rallying up, getting back on board with its forward movement. We had a sideways pattern like we did in crude, broke the bottom to do the stop sweep, and now we're moving back up. So Very good. I'd like to see this hit yesterday high and perhaps R1, but because this is the E-mini and we're in small ranges, it just depends on how big of a rally we get off the open off of that Saudi OPEC news. And, we've all heard the story a couple of times already, so I don't think we're really buying into it anymore, so I don't know how big of a pop we'll get, but I'm expecting something. So hold on to your hats. We might have some movement, maybe. Y'all be good and safe. Thank you so much.